Hey y'all, this is Tyler from O.T.R.Outdoors. Today my daughter and I are going to show y'all how we set up our hammocks if we're both going to be sleeping in our own hammock, using the same two trees and a cover with an awning for space to eat and hang out outside of the rain. So all you need is your two hammocks, a large tarp. The tarp we're going to use today is a Terranova Adventure tarp. Yes ma'am. Tell them what we're doing.
We're gonna hang our hammocks up.
So we're gonna get started and we'll talk you through it as we go. So all you're gonna need to start, you're gonna set up your ridge line first. You want it to be about head height or so. That way you are able to cover both hammocks and not have crowded headspace. We're gonna get our ridge line put up real quick. Riley over here is going to chase the inchworm. So here we go. What I'm gonna do is make a loop on the end of this line. Go here and go around the smaller tree.
I cut his head off. That was fun.
What? What we're going to do here is use a trucker style or trucker's hitch. Come off, make you a little loop. You come through that loop and use it to tighten your ridge line down. Come on, just a little bit more, get even. Pinching that down. We're going to do a couple more trucker hitches throughout this video, so I'll zoom in on one here in a little bit so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Just a touch more. Alright, so now we're going to get our hammock hung up. We're going to hang her hammock up first because it's going to be the one on top. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to stack the hammocks on top of each other.
And you'll be on the bottom.
Yes, ma'am. Alright, you ready?
Ready!
Alright. Take that, walk around behind the tree, this tree, right here. Walk around the other side. Put this in this first clip just till we get adjusted.
Everything high.
Yes, ma'am.
Higher. Higher above you. High up, please.
And that should be about good for when she gets in it. Here, come check it out.
Yeah.
Take them all here on this side.
No,
Ready, one, two, three, yep. Sit around there and lay down. That's going to be about good. I'm going to put my hammock directly below it so that when she gets in bed at night, if I were to set the hammock off somewhere else and she got out in the middle of the night or first thing in the morning and tried to wander off, this way when she wakes up she has to wake me up in order to get down. Alright, so once you get your two hammocks set up, we're going to lower her hammock down just a touch. I know that's pretty good though, that's right at arm's length. So we're going to leave it there for now. We may adjust it as we need for the tarp on top. I'm pretty close to the ground, and that's all personal preference. If it's really hot, you want to get higher up off the ground so you get that good cooling effect from the wind. So we're going to leave it right here for now and try it, and we can make quick adjustments. That's the great thing about these straps, is you can make your quick adjustments with these straps very easily. Same thing with the knots we're using on the tarp. It's really easy to move up and down. We're gonna put our other two corners on. The reason I'm going with the diamond configuration for this is so that we have full coverage on the hammocks from end to end. So what I did was just toggle the other end of the tarp onto our ridge line just like I did the other two. At the end of the video I'll get a close-up on how that's put together. So all we're going to do now is go back and retighten our ridge line. The great thing about these quick up and down knots, it's really easy to go back and forth and readjust your heights as needed.
Dad!
Yes, ma'am.
I love you.
I love you, princess. So we're looking pretty good right there. Tarp's covering both ends of the hammocks. And now we're gonna get some poles out and get some awnings up on this. All right, so now we got our ridge line retightened. Now what we're gonna do is get a couple poles and put an awning on here. All I've done is cut 2 fork sticks. I left this one with some of the extra limbs on it so we can hang gear from as we need. All we're gonna do is take our corner here. We have pretty good height. We're just going to run our tarp through there, open up our tie out and run a toggle through there. Toggles will save you a lot of knot tying and work. I have to trim this one down just a touch, get it to go in there. A little bit more. You want to try and get that nice and even in this Y branch. Yes, ma'am.
There's something above me.
What is it?
A bird.
A bird. All right. So on this one, I'm using a Y branch. On the other one, I'll use a branch that does not have a Y in it, and we'll use a different setup to get our line adjusted. So all I'm going to do is get this about where I want. Take a look and see if we're still fairly centered, and then from there, come back and lean this up against the ridge line. We're going to get a line and a stake in the ground to get that pulled down tight. So just got me a length of cord here and my stake.
Dad?
Yes, princess. Get that about where we want it. Let's see. That should be pretty good there. Put our line about there, our stake. We'll get that started there. Get our stake put in. And all I've got on this loop, on this line, is a loop. Get that loop pulled back out a little bit. We're going to go over our toggle and around the Y just as a little bit of added security. This line's going to pull down on the tarp and this pole, and it'll run right over our toggle to help keep it nice and secure, so if we get some heavy winds or something, it's not going to be flopping around all over the place. Okay, so I got my pole about the height I need it at, and all I've done is taken my line and put a loop in it. So we're going to run that loop through our tie out point. I'll take the other end, tag end of our line, Run it through that loop. Wrapping the whole thing around our pole. Get it centered, get it tight. About where we want it height-wise. Let's scoot that down just a little bit. Sorry about the shadows, guys. Alright, so from there, we're gonna go back the opposite direction of our loop. Give this a nice little tension wrapped around the pole. And we're gonna take this line straight down to our stake. Alright guys, so here's the final setup. I'm gonna go hop in my hammock so y'all can see what it looks like with both of us in there. And you can always adjust your hammocks as you need because they're gonna stretch. Yep, I'm gonna throw your blanket and your pillow back up here. I'm gonna hop in my hammock. Lay down.
I'm gonna lay down right here.
Go for it.
Daddy, you have to be okay.
So that puts both of us in our hammocks, under cover. I keep an eye on her. If she tries to get out of bed in the middle of the night or first thing in the morning, all she gotta do is get me instead of trying to climb out of a hammock by herself. Plus this provides us, if we only have 2 trees to set up our camp at anyways, then we've got all we need. I'll do another quick walk around, show you everything else as far as the cover. Alright y'all, so I'm going to do one quick walk around, show y'all everything as far as how I got the tarp on the ridge line, just using a toggle, and go over the trucker's hitch knot one more time real quick, and then that should be it. So let's do a quick walk around. As you can tell, there's plenty of space. We have full coverage on both sides of the hammock so that we're not going to get rained on at all. Runs all the way at least a good 4 or 5 inches past the ends. This is the toggle on our Y branch where we ran the toggle through our tie out and then ran the guideline that is attached to our stake over the top of the toggle just to give it a little bit more security. Next we're going to go over and I'll show you the toggles on the tarp where it's connected to the actual ridge line. Alright, so this is how we attached our tarp to our ridge line. All we did was take our ridge line, run it through the tie out on our tarp, and then run a toggle through that line and then cinched it back down tight. It's the exact same way on both ends. So I'm going to go over the truck line hitch. This is the line running to our pole. So all you're going to do is you're going to take your tag in, your loose end, go all the way over the top with the whole line, creating a loop. You're going to reach through the loop and grab that tag end again, making a new loop, and tighten it down. If your loop's really big, grab your tag end and pull it so you get that loop the size you need it. From there, if you pull on your tag end, this loop's going to come out. So you're going to hold on to that, go around your stake, and through your loop. I'll show y'all that again. So this is why these knots are so great. All you gotta do is pull, and the whole knot comes out. So we're gonna go over with our entire line, creating that loop. We're gonna reach through our loop, grab our tag in, cinch it down, and create our new loop. Scoot that up just a little bit. Now we're going to go around our stake. Switch so y'all can see. Around your stake, go through your loop that you just created. Cinch that down where you want it. You're going to pinch the whole thing together, both sides. This is the side where your loop you just created, and this is your running line. Put both of those together. Bring your line over the top, creating a loop. Go through that loop, grab your tag in, and pull. That's basically creating a half hitch. Alright, this line's a little long. All I'm going to do is take it and make a half hitch over our line that's running from our pole. and then pull it tight so that it's up and out of the way so it's not a trip hazard. Alright, now we're inside the actual shelter. You see we have plenty of headspace even with both hammocks here. There's probably a good...
I'm giving you hugs.
Thank you, baby. There's probably a good 2.5 feet from where I'm standing before you reach your first pole. So there's plenty of room for 2 people to sit, and that's the same on both sides of the hammocks. You have enough room to sit probably 2 people in small chairs, small camping chairs. Alright, so what did we learn today about having our tarp up in the air? What's having the tarp up in the air help us do?
The wind and...
Say it louder.
The wind is gonna go out and back in.
To help keep us
Cool.
cool. And what else does it help us stay cool by doing? Does it give us...
Shade.
It gives us some shade. And the tarp also keeps us... What happens when it rains?
Keep us safe when it rains all day.
So we don't get...
Rained on.
We don't get wet.
Yeah.
Alright.
This is a nice for a house.
Alright.
We have a new
Say
house.
thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Y'all have a good day.
Y'all have a good day.
Alright, y'all. That's my daughter and I's setup for when we're both sleeping in our individual hammocks. If you got any questions about the setup or about the gear, leave a comment or shoot me an email. This has been Tyler with O.T.R. Outdoors. Remember, there's always a storm coming. Keep your powder dry, your axe and your knife sharp, and an eye on your back trail. Have a good one.